Guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching episode 30 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. We are in the 30s. We have such a long way to go, but I feel like it's going to fly by because I absolutely love watching the show. I absolutely love it. And it makes me sad that I don't get to savor the flavor as long as I would like. Now, I am ready to get into this next episode, I think. The name of it is the Ishvalan War of Extinction, so I feel like it's going to be pretty heavy. We already saw how heavy it was for Armstrong. Roy doesn't want to go back to that. I 100% agree that he just wants to fight monsters. Monsters? Monsters. One N. Anyway, but we are probably going to get the tale from Dr. Marco, I think. If not, maybe it's in and out. We're jumping through to different stories, but I'm really curious because I kind of already felt that like Philosopher's Stones were made from fallen Ishvalans, and that Amestris is a big transmutation circle, and they're just kind of taking over land to make it even bigger. And I'm guessing that's how Father can stop alchemists from using their alchemy. I think, kind of putting that together a little bit. So the last episode, we kind of got a little bit from Ling popping out of greed for a second there. Bradley being surprised about it. Bradley kind of settling, Ed and Roy down and just being like, you're going to remain a state alchemist because I got Hawkeye over here and I got Winry over here. And y'all want to keep them in one piece, yes? Pretty much holding them hostage, doing their jobs, and keeping an eye on them. To where I was like, oh, you want to stay close to your enemy. That way you can, be around it and see and hear things easier. And I think the Bradley's kind of thinking the same way, is like, I need to be able to keep an eye on you. So it's one and the same. Let's see. Gluttony. It looked like Gluttony was coming back at the end of that. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if, they just pop out of Father's chest and boom, homunculus, because we saw a homunculus take over Greed's body with a Philosopher's Stone, not Father consuming Ling to create a Philosopher's Stone. So I don't know if that's fairly typical to just put a Philosopher's Stone in an existing body, or if they're created from Father. So, but we also did find out that when Father stopped the boys from using alchemy, all the other alchemists had the inability to use their alchemy. So that's really interesting. And I do believe it's because Amestris is a big transmutation circle. But alchemy still worked. And now our boy Ed wants to learn how to do alchemy. And I even said that, they're two different animals, but I don't know what happens when you combine them. Like a combined formula of bleach and ammonia. That's pretty explosive, right? You don't want to do that. Kids don't do that at home. But is it something that he can control? Because Ed is so intelligent and he's really, really good at alchemy. I feel like he could find a way. If not, there has to be a way to use one and not the other. And I don't know how. Can he still access it like this? Or does he need the little throwing things? Is it in objects? Is it just from his touch to the ground like he normally does? Is it tattoos on the arm the way Scar uses it through his hand? I'm really, really curious to find out. So I don't know if we're going to find any of that out, but those are the questions that I have after the last episode. So with this one, I think just with the title, it's probably going to be a bit of a bummer. So I have my tissues. I am prepared. So let's get into it. With no excitement and just utter respect for the fallen Ishvalans. Let's go.
So you've decided to become a soldier after all? That's all the proof I need. You're not ready to learn flame alchemy.
But sir,
interesting.
I am. It's the only thing left.
Master
Alchemy
Hawkeye?
should be used for the people.
This is Hawkeye's father?
We alchemists are hungry creatures. If we forgo pursuing the truth, then we allow ourselves to die.
Person
Trust
of
me.
truth.
I've been dead for a long time.
Master!
Oh, man.
Master Hawkeye!
Look after
Oh, my
my
God.
daughter. She's in possession of my research.
Research. Okay. Does Bradley know that? Well, it's a bummer way to start.
Your father told me soldiers are left to die like trash on the side of the road. But I know it's the only way to make a difference. And I know I'll never be happy if I don't try to make this country a better place. Man, that must have sounded pretty childish, huh?
Absolutely not. That's wonderful.
Can I trust you, Roy?
I think
With
so.
my father's research?
Well, he did learn how to be a flame alchemist. Whoa. Wait, it's tattooed on her?
Looks like things got pretty serious.
Yeah, but I didn't use it. I didn't have to. Well, I couldn't pull the trigger.
It's hard to kill
It's
somebody.
pathetic, huh?
No.
If I was just useless.
No, you weren't.
I only managed to make things worse.
No, you
You're
didn't.
just dwelling on this stuff because you made it back alive.
Mm-hmm.
You need to stay focused on living. That's how you'll help Winry. I mean, after all, you love her, don't you?
Oh, Ed, stop.
No. It's not like that. We're
Yes,
just friends
it
since we were little
is.
kids. She's like family to me. I mean, of course, I'm gonna protect her, you know?
Does it ever feel like a burden to you?
I've lost the right to look at it that way, so I'd be wrong to complain. I'm not proud of it.
You've lost the
But
right
I've
to
killed
look at
too
it that
many
way?
to feel sorry for myself.
Oh.
It's time to
Okay,
confess.
here we go.
Tell me your sins. What did you do to my people?
Ishvalan is a harsh and barren country. Considering the terrain, it's not surprising that it would give birth to such a stringent religion. It's only natural that a faction of the population would protest the country's annexation by Amestris.
Yeah.
Their mistrust was soon justified.
Frickin' envy.
Executive Order 3066. The official order to initiate the Ishvalan War of Extermination.
Order 66 was all I got out of that. 3066.
The air was tainted with the smell of human decay, and the desert sand soaked up the blood like a sponge. Where other soldiers don't always have a direct line of sight on the effects of their actions, snipers do. And, of course, the state alchemists.
Listen here.
Ooh, it's
I am the
that.
Iron Blood Alchemist,
There we go.
Boss
Bosca Grand. I know, Armstrong. Yep, hard to swallow. Really, really hard to swallow.
Hey, Roy! Roy Mustang!
You knew that from behind? I miss Hughes.
You've changed since the last time I saw you.
I could say the same, Hughes. You have the eyes of a killer.
Yeah.
You have a letter.
Oh, thank you.
From your wife?
What? What's wrong? I've still got a beautiful future, and her name is Gracia. She's patiently waiting at Central for the day I can come home.
God, I love
All
Hughes.
alone. Oh, how long before some jerk puts the moves on her?
Easy, don't grind your teeth.
The soldiers who never shut up about their girls back home, they don't make it.
Not funny, Roy.
Not funny at all, Roy.
I can make it through this day. This letter is all I need. I can think about tomorrow again, even if this damn battlefield might not let me see it. It seems a little excessive to suppress an uprising.
Yep. Hawkeye.
Hello, Major Mustang.
Even her. She has the eyes of a killer, too.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Dope.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Dope tattoo.
I thought alchemy was meant to be used to help people. So why is it being used to kill them instead?
Because that's the job we state alchemists have been given to do.
Kimblee.
But can you honestly tell me you don't allow yourself to feel the slightest tinge of satisfaction and pride in your skills? Well, Miss Marksman.
That's enough, Kimberly!
I mean, maybe.
You act like you're surprised, like you didn't choose this. Did you put on that uniform thinking you wouldn't be asked to kill?
I hate that Kimblee's got valid points.
Look straight at the people you kill. And don't ever forget them, because I promise that they won't forget you.
Is this the same Kimblee that was, like, excited to kill?
Hughes, can you tell me why you fight?
It's simple. I don't want to die. That's the only reason. The reasons are always simple.
Mm-hmm. Wonder if Roy could be covering up instead of killing people. Jeez. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch this.
You took the lives of my people to create a Philosopher's Stone?
Yep.
What happened to this stone? It was given to Major Zolf J. Kimberly. He was known as the Crimson Alchemist.
Yeah.
I couldn't dream of a more fulfilling job.
Oh, loves it. I hate that.
Such a beautiful sound! Like a symphony!
What a nutcase. Power hungry.
You're asking me to take your life in place of the remaining tens of thousands of Ishvalans.
That's correct. I stand.
How arrogant of you.
It's a war of extinction.
You will suffer the hammer of God!
God, you say? God is nothing more than a construct created by man to inspire fear and promote order. If you wish to see me struck down, use your own hands to do so, not God's.
Wow.
With what little strength I have, I'll do whatever it takes to protect the people I love, and in turn, they'll protect the ones they love. It seems like the least we tiny humans can do for each other.
Yep. That's when I started feeling very differently about Roy. Him having that conversation with Hughes, I was like, oh, wow.
If the world truly operates based on the principles of equivalent exchange, then we soldiers have plenty to give back.
Yes.
If this world is meant to prosper, then it is our duty to carry the bodies of the dead across a river of blood to their resting place.
From now on, I'm assigning you to be my assistant. I feel like I can trust you to watch my back.
Yes, you can.
You'll be able to shoot me in the back as well. If I ever deviate from this path, then I want you to shoot me. And I'm trusting you to do so.
Wow.
Do you accept my offer?
Of course I do, sir. I'll follow you into hell if you ask me to.
Wow. What a pairing.
The first thing we'll have to do is restore power to the Parliament. We'll take it back from the military and make it democratic again.
Hopefully.
Those who were praised as heroes during the Ishvalan campaign will be brought to trial as war criminals.
Yeah.
That's right. After all that we've done, we'll be seen as mass murderers.
And the Colonel is trying to make sure this happens? Isn't that just like committing suicide?
Accepting your fate.
You don't have time to start worrying about us. You need to look after your brother, Ed, and you need to get your bodies back. You better get to it. You got plenty of people waiting for that day.
You can't wait for Roy and Hawkeye's fate. They've already accepted it.
Excuse me, Mr. Armor?
Huh?
I just wanted to thank you for your help. You
Aw.
saved both of our lives.
My name's not Mr. Armor. It's Alphonse Elric. You remember Edward Elric, don't you? The little alchemist you screamed at?
The little alchemist.
You probably look just like him then.
For starters, I am way taller than my brother is, and I'm a much better fighter, too.
Wow.
And I don't have a temper like he does. I'm a gentleman.
May's gonna fall in love with you. Yep.
I really hope that you get your body back soon.
So we can be together.
Well, thank you.
Forever. He's so cute. Okay, I'm glad it ended with that, because what a bummer of an episode. Not a bummer like episode, like a stinker, but like, woo, heavy.
Hope you're decent, Doc. Time for your supper.
Oh, is Scar in there?
Are you thinking about Ishvalan crying yourself to sleep?
Wow, that's low blow there. Vengeance! Whoa, Scar! That was unexpected and dope. Okay, so Dr. Marco is no more. At least there's I think that was a body. I don't know if it's just clothes sitting there headless with vengeance written across the wall, which, I mean, for Scar, I don't want to be like, oh my god, but like it's actually kind of a dope way to get a point across. Considering Dr. Marco wanted to die, he wanted to be murdered. He wanted his life to end, and he wanted it to be from Scar because he was responsible for all of the Ishvalans dying. But the fact that the Ishvalans were taken to be made into a Philosopher's Stone and given to Kimberly, and Kimberly was the one that enacted like great power to destroy Ishvalans, and that was kind of the main factor that ended the wars because they couldn't keep up with all the deaths. Like they were like literally like there's no way to stop this. And, you know, like Scar suffering the way he did, his brother, I think I've been told that his brother is in fact dead. Kind of wild that he traded his own life to let Scar live, but it seemed like the brother had like, you know, a lot of alchemy power that he could use to help fight the war. So it's really interesting what the sacrifice he made for his brother to live, and that he gave his life for that. Now, Kimberly, like him saying, like, never turn your eyes away from the dead, always look them in the eye because they will never forget who killed them. Don't you forget about them. That I feel like he takes that as like a badge of honor, like that he's killed people. And like from the first episode, that's kind of what I got from him. I was like, well, he's messed up. But then like Hawkeye using it as a way to remember, and it's like a penance for her and Roy that they were responsible for these deaths, that they are war criminals, and making all of the alchemists that were involved kind of, you know, pay for their crime of being war criminals. I don't know, is a soldier responsible for the deaths because they were following orders? It's really hard to walk away from an institution that threatens your life. And were they doing it under duress? Were they doing it because they felt they had to, because they needed to? You know, I don't think that they showed Roy killing anyone necessarily, but I was like, well, maybe it's like literally like a smoke screen. Like he just burns down like buildings that have dead bodies in them and, you know, can say that he killed these people. You know, I don't know if that's fact or if that just me trying to find a loophole to, you know, not have Roy responsible for that many deaths. But even Hawkeye saying that she was responsible, her father being the one responsible for the equation or the transmutation to be a tattoo on her back, and that's how she carries along his research, and Roy to have learned it that way, which means he had to see her naked. Just saying. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I'm just saying it's not like you could just like disrobe your back and just be like, okay, go ahead and read it. What are you looking at? So I don't know. But I do feel like they bonded because of her father and what they went through in Ishval. So sometimes where I see it as being romantic, there's definitely a bond there and there's protection there, and they went through like this heavy thing together. So I can see how they bonded in that, and it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. But like just how devastating it was. And then, you know, the Ishvalans coming forward and saying like, we surrender, you know, take me. And it's almost like the leader saying like, I'm like this figurehead, I'm like the person that they all follow. If you have me, then, you know, they will essentially stop fighting the war. And Bradley's like, I don't care about you. This is a war of extinction. You know, like we're taking every life. And I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. That's where you see the wrath come out. Where wrath to him isn't screaming and yelling. It's cold hatred. It is like this just dead, I don't know, cold, dead hatred is the thing that keeps coming to mind. But now Scar knows, and I think the reason why it was easier for him to kill Marco was because he pretty much said, like, I'm the reason why Kimberly was able to, harm you, kill your family and all your people. That made it really, really easy for Scar, I think, because now he can go after Kimberly. They asked Bradley if Bradley was responsible for Hughes's death, and he didn't say who was, but it's kind of like it will make it easier for Roy to want to kill Envy because of Hughes's death, and Envy being responsible. Envy's responsible for a lot of people's deaths. Does it really easily. Just doesn't care. So I don't know. I mean, we saw how hard it was for Roy to kill Lust, and she had a lot less souls than her, so it's going to take like a Philosopher's Stone to kill Envy. I'm glad we got more background on the war, how hard it was for a lot of the state alchemists to go through, and as it should be. I don't think killing should be something that you take lightly. I don't think it should be something that's easy or something that doesn't plague you for the rest of your life. Taking a life is kind of an inhuman thing to do, to kill someone else from your own species, because we don't eat people. We're not doing it for survival. We're doing it for vengeance, or to claim land, or to steal souls, like in this instance. So it should be something that haunts you. And I really liked that we got Ed talking to Hawkeye about everything, because we don't really get a lot of Hawkeye and Ed ever really with each other. And I feel like she's a calm enough person to talk to that doesn't get him riled up. But she did call him on the fact that he loves Winry, and we know this to be true. And granted, the love that they're having is like maturing as they are. Like I pointed out in a couple episodes back, and everyone's like, the artists that created Winry said that men are woe and women are varoom, like that they are to have big assets. And it's, so they're like showing them maturing into older age. Like I said, I feel like Ed has gotten taller. I feel like Winry has grown more into her womanhood. So that relationship grows and it changes as well. Even though you were childhood friends and it's more like your family, it can grow into something more. And I think from the outside, when it's not right up in your face, people can see the whole spiel. But when you're too close to it, you just see this little fraction of it. And that's where Ed's at right now, is he doesn't really see everything. He feels it. He knows it's there, but like, I don't think like he quite is ready to face it and back up and see the whole picture. And I think that that's coming by the end of the series. We'll definitely see their relationship blossom. I'm ready to see Al take Lan Fan to Winry and get the automail arm. I think that she will be a badass with that arm. Put a rocket in it. You know what? We saw Panina with her rocket leg and whatever else. Like, we need this. We need this. I feel like if there are Ishvalans that are still alive, that are missing limbs, get them automail and they can fight this war. Everyone that's around Amestris, just load them up with alchemy, alkahestry, because alchemy could be stopped by Father, and automail limbs. And we've got ourselves a grand army to take on the military. It really is idealistic to think that you can just take over and stop a military occupation and a military statehood and replace it with a democratic state and democratic leaders, because I think it's possible, but just as it took hundreds of years to become this, superpower of the state military, I think it will take nearly as long for it to become a true democracy. Maybe, unless, there's plenty of people that want to help. And, that's who Roy needs to find, is more people that can help. But I'm really interested in seeing the next couple episodes, because now that we've seen this and we know Scar is on his quest for vengeance against Kimberly, looking forward to that. I want more Ling and Greed, and, just Ed on this road of becoming this greater, I don't want to say master, but like right now he's an alchemist. I want him to be an alchestress. I don't know what to call him. But I'm looking forward to it regardless. And like the pain that Roy and Hawkeye feel that Armstrong couldn't bear to continue doing, like he has a less cold deadness in his eyes, I think, than the rest. I just love this show. I love the show. I love the questions it makes me ask. I love how it makes me think, and I love how powerful it is, because it is incredibly powerful storytelling. I had a hard time watching the Ishvalans just be needlessly killed over and over and over, and it accomplished what it needed to. But guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon and up to 4 episodes early. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. How did you feel learning about the war? Because I feel very non-energetic, very internal right now. I'm glad that this was the second episode that I was watching, because I don't know if I would have been in the right state of mind to go into a next episode. I lack excitement to watch another episode right now because I feel like I'm in my thinking phase. Once the thinking phase is over, then I think I'll be fine. I'll be able to launch back in and have the energy that I need. But definitely learning about the Ishvalan War, learning how heavy it is for the people that we know and love in this show, knowing what they plan on doing once they are in charge, if there is democratic leadership, that they are willing to be seen as war criminals and face justice that way. That just really means a lot. It really does. Like, what a good couple heads on their shoulders that Roy and Hawkeye have. But I'm also really interested to see where the story goes, because in the beginning we see all these new characters and it's taking place where it's snowing. So to me, that means that we have to head north, and north is going to be interesting. And I'm super excited for that. So guys, come back here for the next episode. And in the meantime, I'll see ya.